Streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and blasttheradio.com, this is The Lowell Green Show. The number to call and be heard around the world is 613-413-2217. Or email Lowell at blasttheradio.com. And now, here is Lowell Green.
Oh, thank you, John. God, you got to love the CBC, right? Oh.
Do I?
Only the CBC would come up with a list of 18 words, phrases, names that should be banned, that they're not going to use. Now, I notice. I'll because a lot of people haven't seen them. I'll go through some of the words, phrases that we're not supposed to use: ghetto, savage, blackmail, gypped, spooky, tribe, crippled, black sheep, blindsided, lame, grandfathered in, first world problem, anything that includes the word black, brainstorm, and tone deaf.
Wait, anything that involves the word black?
Yeah, anything no discussion
isn't the weather?
of space.
Yeah, isn't the weather expert on CBC Ottawa named Ian Black?
Very true. He's gone. Sorry, Ian.
Sorry to be the ones to tell you, Ian.
Your history, you're just not progressive enough, Ian. Just take a hike. You're too lame, and he's too lame anyway.
Way to blindside him, Lowell.
Yeah, I know. No, I suppose I'll try to grandfather him in. I don't know. One of the problems I have with not being used anything with the word black in it. How are we going to discuss space? One of the big concerns now in space are all these black. Oh,
dark.
What are we? Really dark holes?
Yes.
My father used to have an expression which I love, and he was describing something really black. Okay, something really dark. He said it's as black as the inside of a black cat with its tail tied down. So.
Hey, Lowell, first comment.
That's spooky. That's really spooky.
First comment in from Ann. So only red when referring to the Red Blacks?
Oh, that's right. Now, yeah, the team is now the Reds.
Oh, my God.
But, I mean, it's really... Now, if you notice something, actually, you did notice it because you're the one who drew this to my attention. With all of these 18 words, phrases that we should not be using, and apparently nobody on the CBC can use anymore, they've ignored, like, you can use the F word, the S word,
yep,
the C word, the GD word. I mean, it is madness. So I decided, I mean, these words apparently, like spooky and all the rest of it, apparently they really offend progressive people, okay? All the woke people. Now, one of the things I notice is it's okay to say woke. So I'm not breaking any rules or protocols here if I say woke. So apparently these words and phrases really, really spook the woke crowd. We know how delicate they are. I mean, come on. I mean, hey, this is the crowd that is really offended by the sight of somebody on a maple syrup bottle, or anyway. So I've decided that there's probably 18 words, names, phrases that really piss off other people, like, maybe conservatives like me. So I've made a list here, and I would hope that some of you might be able to add to this.
Okay.
A list here of words, phrases, etc., that I think are offensive to a lot of people out there, okay, and should be banned. Starting with Trudeau, liberal, Jagmeet, Freeland, the Toronto Star, CO2, carbon tax, Rosemary Barton.
I should have known that would be there.
Joe freaking Biden.
The
Paris Accord, windmills, solar panels, budgets balancing themselves, light rail, Kathleen Wynne, Dalton McGuinty, Maxime Bernier, and most of all, the CBC. So those are my 18 18 words, etc., that I think should be banned. How about you? Folks, I just want to make this something very clear, okay? I don't want you to feel gypped in any way. So please, no lame remarks.
You're killing
Don't
me.
be spooky. Don't try to blindside me. Take off there, Milky, okay? Don't try to blindside me there. By the way, are you wearing black?
Gray.
Well, I'm wearing black.
No. I'm woke, Lowell.
Don't be tone deaf now. Come on, don't be tone deaf. No, even though, I mean, there's no question some people consider me to be the black sheep of broadcasting. And if you have a suggestion, folks, don't be savage, okay? And no freaking black humor either, all right? Ay. What are we coming to here? I mean, changing road name. Now I see they're starting to change the names of some of the buildings at Carleton University, changing the names of schools and so forth. It would appear to me that today, if you have the ill fortune to be white and Caucasian, you're history, mister. Okay, we don't want your name on highways. We don't want your name on statues. In fact, we don't want your statues anywhere. We're going to rip them down or paint them over or something. We don't want your name on schools. If you're white and Caucasian, you're a colonial something or other. I mean, it's reached the point of absolute. You know what? It has reached the point of obscenity. That's what it is. Now, have you got any thoughts on that? Please let me know, John. Any suggestions coming in?
Oh yes.
Fire away. Don't be lame now, folks. I'm asking you, don't be lame here. Okay.
I can't keep up with them. They're going so fast now. Let me see here. The group Black Eyed Peas must be the Plain Eyed Peas.
Right.
Johnny Cash is now the Man in Pink.
Okay.
Yeah, your list does not include Jim Watson.
No, I didn't include Jim. No.
Let's ban the new normal.
Okay.
On budget should be on your list, apparently.
I have budgets that balance themselves.
Okay, so we're okay. You know what? If this was Family Feud, we would probably accept that on the board.
Yeah, okay, all right. How much do I win?
Yeah. Dean says, you're in the black with the winnings here. Okay. Dean says, whenever I hear the word narrative, it's usually the CBC lecturing us about something and telling us what a rotten, horrible, racist country we are.
You know, something else that I think should be banned from the CBC is discussion of landfills. There's a word that I missed, landfills. We should use the real word, which is dump.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead. Any more there?
Somebody's asking, how do I order my black coffee now? I need my coffee naked. Chrissy is upset she will no longer be able to go to the Black & Decker store on Blackwell Street here in Ottawa.
They're finished.
Electric buses. Can we add electric buses to Lowell's list?
Electric buses. Okay, I got you. I'm writing it down.
At the casino, can we still bet on red? And or then what? Bingo cards with words you cannot use available at your local store, says Peter Plumley. No more Black Friday sales, chimes in Donald watching on YouTube.
Oh my God, that's right. I forgot Black Friday. You know what? Like almost every retail outlet on the planet is being offensive. No, unbelievable. Go ahead. You got any more there?
Hang on. Let me get back to my little comment section here. Can we still play blackjack? What about black flies?
You know what? Before you go further, I'm not a gambling man. Although I did get married, which is a hell of a gamble, as you know.
You put your show on my station. That's a bit of a gamble.
Yeah, you want to be kidding.
Right.
But I do say this, that I am a very good blackjack player. I love blackjack because it requires a little bit of skill and an understanding of the odds, et cetera, et cetera. So I love blackjack. It's the only card game that I play. So I just thought I would try. I have no reason. Why would I mention that? I have no idea why I did that. I'm just trying to spook you, folks.
On that, Ava on Facebook says, do we take all the black cards out of the deck? Ava, I can't believe you'd even have the audacity to say that word in your post. My goodness. Lynn is suggesting we change it to Charcoal Friday from now on.
Charcoal Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Christine's upset. Poor Fred Savage, she says. I'll have to take down my posters. The Candies Black Babies are now called aliens. No, we can't. No. Who's the artist? A music artist said we cannot refer to them as aliens anymore. That apparently is on the outs.
That's right. Yeah, because it would make aliens feel alien.
I think it was Demi Lovato who said that.
Somebody like that.
Yeah.
Which raises another question. I've got nothing to do with what we're talking about here. Can you explain to me, John? You're much more plugged into what I would call the celebrity scene and certainly the music scene. Why do we pay so much attention to semi-brain dead celebrities? I mean, the only thing that many of these people have are very large artificial boobs. They've plasticized themselves. By the way, did you ever think archaeologists in years to come? Okay, they're uncovering, and what are they going to find? In my case, they're going to find 2 metal knees and
right.
a pacemaker. They're going to. But can you imagine them uncovering like half the female population of
Hollywood,
my generation with these plastic big bubbles? I mean, like how are the archaeologists going? I hope somebody is sort of documenting all of this right now. But my question is, why do we pay so much attention? I'm reading. I mean, I like the Ottawa Sun. I find their coverage really good, and it's easy to read, which is good for me. But they've got maybe 2, 3, 4 pages devoted to these obscure celebrity. Sometimes you wonder, why are they a celebrity? Well, they're a celebrity because, let me see. As a child, their mother hit them with a coat hanger, or they were abused and stuff, or they've got big boobs, or I have no idea why these people, like Kardashians.
I don't get that.
For 20 years, that family has made hundreds of millions of dollars for like what? Why? I don't understand. Anyhow, that's just another.
Well, Dad was a lawyer, but beyond, I mean, and a notable lawyer. I mean, he was part of the OJ case.
But I mean, they're great advertisements for plastic surgery. I grant you that. Yep. But aside from that, I still don't understand why we pay so much attention to them.
Escapism.
Is that what it is?
I think so. Yeah, I've never been big on the Hollywood gossip thing on any of my shows. I never quite bought into that whole thing. I couldn't tell you who half these people are, and I'm very proud of that. But I think a lot of it is just escapism.
I mean, entire television shows devoted to who's banging who, right?
Yep.
Is that banging, by the way? Is that a banned word?
Hang on, I'm looking at the lists right now. It's not on George Carlin's list, and no, I don't see it on the CBC. Just seems to be afraid of words. It's been what now, 4 months that we can't even make a comment on anything that CBC posts on social media.
Oh, I have no idea. It's
stupid.
Madness. I'll tell you something that's not madness, folks. Here is a great, great company in the Valley, Scheels, SCHEELS.ca. Yep, way to go. Keep throwing this up. Folks, I keep telling you that if you're in the market for appliances of any kind, please, the prices, I can almost guarantee you can, I'll eat my shirt if prices of most appliances don't skyrocket in the new year. Government of Canada, that would be the Trudeau government, is instituting new regulations that say all new appliances sold in Canada must be Energy Star. That's the upper end. A lot of the less expensive appliances, fridges, dishwashers, et cetera, are not Energy Star. They won't be allowed to be sold anymore, which means in many cases, some of these items simply will not be available, which of course will help to drive up the price of those that are available. So if you're in the market, you might be well advised to check out the prices now, and maybe if you were thinking of buying in the spring, you may save yourself a ton of money and do the shopping now, particularly if you've got to buy several, if you're equipping a new kitchen or something. Scheels.ca. They'll treat you well, folks. They'll tell you absolutely the truth. And when you're in there, have a look at the butcher shop. Some great T-bone steaks. Scheels.ca. John, anything new here?
Any Black Angus? Sorry.
Yes, there are some black. Very true. Very true. Grass fed.
There you go. Terry says you cannot eat shirts anymore, especially black ones.
Okay.
Better not be a black shirt there, says Lowell. Yep, Peter's in with that too. Black stove in that ad. The ad I had on screen apparently shows a black stove. Kelly's laughing. Who's banging who? Never thought I'd hear Lowell say that. Snowman would now have to be snow people or snow people kind. Boinking. Ray prefers the term boinking, if you
Boinking.
please. Yes, who's boinking who? Thank you. I like green women from Star Trek. I'm no racist, says Terry. Text here.
Excuse me. There are
Yep,
green women on
there
Star Trek.
are.
Okay.
Yep. We're going to have to ban the song Black Cars, a Canadian classic by Gino Vanelli. Let me see here. We've got a text at 613-413-2217. Somebody wondering, what does Trudeau do the next time he wants to paint his face? He'll have to go with red, I guess.
And those eyebrows.
I still can't get over that, Lowell.
I have another issue here that I want to raise.
All right.
This new variant, Omicron, is that how you pronounce it? Omicron?
I'm hearing it different ways. Omicron as well.
Whatever. I think we're panicking here. I know that it's early in the game, but it just seems to me when COVID first came out, there was a great delay, particularly in this country. I mean, we allowed, plane loads of people coming in from all of these countries. That was a mistake. But I mean, the right now, I mean, all of the new regulations that are coming into effect to go to the United States and to get back into Canada make travel almost impossible. I'm going to be honest with you. I had hoped that I would be able to go down to the Bahamas sometime this summer or this winter. I'm sorry. I hope that I'm well enough. We'd planned to do it. I mean, there's no way. But not just me. I mean, how is anybody, in order to even get into the United States, now you got to have a test that apparently with results within 24 hours. They're telling me that it's so difficult to find that test that some people are paying up to $350 for this test just to get into the United States. Now, if you want to go someplace else like the Bahamas, you got another test. So on your way back, you got to now, once again, coming from the Bahamas, you got to have a test to get into the United States. And then you're going to have another test to get back to Canada. And apparently you're going to have to, self-isolate for 14 days. Who the hell can do that? I mean, what gets me is, look, 90% of Canadians have done what we're supposed to do. We've double vaccinated. In many cases, we're now triple vaccinating. We're wearing the mask. They've closed our businesses. We haven't been able to go to concerts. We haven't been able to have family in. We've obeyed all of those rules, or most of them anyway. And it's worked. We have one of the best records today, thank God. But I mean, why are we being punished now? I mean, if we've been double or triple vaccinated, we wear the mask and everything, why all of these new rules and so forth? I just don't understand it. I mean, everybody knows that I've been a staunch supporter. Get vaccinated, and I still feel that way. But it seems to me, and I'd like some opinion out there, that if we've done what we're supposed to for 2 freaking years now, we have suffered a good deal. Locked in, kids had to stay at home. It's all of those things. Businesses lost, billions of dollars lost. And we've done all of these things, and now, finally, when it looks like maybe we can get a little bit of freedom, maybe we can get off to the, for 85-year-old guy or a woman can get off to the Bahamas or go down to Florida for a couple of weeks in the sun. Oh, no. You know what? I'm about ready to give up on this, okay? There's no question. We've got to be careful. Wear your mask, etc. Distance, wash your hands. Most of us are doing that. And what's the reward? Well, I'm sorry, you're not going to be able to travel. This is the 3rd year now we're not going to be able to travel. And if there's any other people with some comments, I'm not trying to feel sorry for myself, but it really is frustrating when you've done everything you're supposed to and we're still being punished. And we're not even sure if this damn new thing is even as serious as the Delta one. There's some speculation that the symptoms are much milder, and yet we're still being put through all of this. I mean, if you have a family of 4 having to pay $350 for a test to get into the United States and then a test to get back, I mean, that's craziness. It's craziness. And you know what? I think not only that, but the lack of planning. The airport, now, if you're coming in from any other country other than the United States today, you're supposed to be tested in the airports. The airports are saying, wait a minute, we haven't got the facilities here. You're talking about mile long lineups here of people all jammed together for hours. How the hell is that going to not be a spreader? I mean, no planning, no ideas, no understanding of what goes on. I, why? You know why? Because most of these damn people in the federal government, they're taking private jets. They don't understand what it's like to have to stand for 5 hours in a freaking lineup in the airport. You know, enough is enough. Enough is enough.
We just got that comment on Facebook too from Sean. He says the only people that will be allowed to travel going forward, the political elite.
Yeah, they'll have their private jets, et cetera, et cetera. Meantime, the rest of us can just take a we can't even take a hike anymore. Um, any comments on any of this, John? I know I've
Yep.
been ranting here, but
No, that's okay.
it's just
And you're absolutely right. Like I read one article, and it's like it's all doom and gloom. Omicron, here we go again. Blah 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 blah. The next article is, listen, we're overreacting to this. These are all supposed to be experts. And then you listen to this epidemiologist, he's going traveling. The next one, I wouldn't go anywhere. It's absolute madness. But I agree. We've gotten the viruses. And I just read an article a little while ago from somebody at I want to say Pfizer. Says we have no problem from science to be able to keep up with this thing and put it into the vaccines. It's fine. So here we go. Bethel Thompson's story. So he's a quarterback for the Argos. He showed up at the Raptors game, and guess what? That breaks COVID protocol, so now he cannot play in the final this weekend. So there's that. This is how out of control things are getting. Other parts of the world are not as strict as we are, so we are again importing more virus, says Lisa.
There's another consideration here, and I'm not alliterating it very well, and that is that they impose these restrictions when it comes to the Canadian government and the restrictions and so forth. There's some where they're not sure when it's supposed to start. There's total absolute confusion. How is it supposed to work? These tests, the airports are saying there's no way that we can conduct these tests in the airport. We're going to have people, in a lineup all day long, for goodness sake. So the government is unclear on that. Is it a test that they're going to pick up at the airport and we can do at home? No explanation. That they just didn't say, well, we're going to have this test. Well, how's it going to work? When's it going to start? Nobody any idea. This government, folks. This has got to be the most incompetent, stumbling, bumbling, idiot government any country has ever been saddled with since, hell froze over. Kelly is on the line. Go ahead, Kelly, please.
Hi, I wanted to share my experience of heading stateside.
Yes.
I drove over on Tuesday to pick up a parcel and do a little shopping. We were flagged on the way over by the Canadian border guard asking if we'd filled out the ArriveCAN form.
Right.
Did not know anything about this form. We took the hour that it took to fill it out, and upon returning, we were told had we have not filled this paperwork out, we would have been subject to a 2-week quarantine.
Where would they quarantine you? Do you know?
The car ahead of us, I believe it's at home, but the car ahead of us were handed take-home PCR tests.
Right.
And they have to report. Sorry?
I'm sorry. You understand that these rules are all changing. And not only that, if you're driving, see, this makes no sense either. If you're driving across, then you don't require these tests. But if you're flying, you require these tests. And if you're coming in from the Bahamas, then you need this test. If you're coming in from the States, you need this test. It's so confusing. Who the hell can figure it out? And now, you're right. There's something about this form. I didn't know anything about it either, that you're supposed to fill out. It's on an app. Well, I don't understand apps. I'm 85 years old. What the hell do I know about an app? So who's going to do that for me? I just don't understand it. I'm double vaccinated. I'm triple vaccinated. I wore the mask. I've advocated, I kept done everything I'm supposed to. And now they won't let me go to the United States. You know what? I just feel like saying, screw off. That's what I feel like saying. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I just feel that the Canadian government didn't make it easy. They lifted the 72-hour test as of Tuesday, thinking everyone could go across fine without any further COVID complications.
Yes.
And that wasn't, definitely was not what happened. The majority of people that went over did not know about this. And on our way home through the border, they said they had an awful lot of upset people that were handed the take-home test, and you'll be staying home for 2 weeks. The government checks on you 3 times, I'm told, during your 2-week quarantine. And you also get a reminder on your phone saying it's mandatory, government law, that you follow this.
So let me get this straight. So you're saying that today, even though you're just going across the border for a few hours to do some shopping, you've got to fill out this form on this side, and when you come back, do you still have to be tested? What? Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Since we filled out the form in advance,
right,
when they scan our passport upon re-entry,
okay,
we get the thank you very much for doing your paperwork,
okay,
which did include our COVID quarantine plan in the event that we were asked at random to quarantine as well. So once again, we could have been subject to that, but every traveler not filling out that was mandated to quarantine.
And you're saying that prior to your trip to the United States, you were under the impression that if you're only staying a short time, there was no problem. You would simply drive across the border, and then when you came back with your load of whatever, you'd have no problem. Only to be surprised to say, wait a minute, I got to fill out this form. If I don't fill out this form, there's all sorts of penalties. And even if I do fill out the form, they may still require me to isolate for 14 days. Is that essentially what you're saying?
Exactly. And after all the after all the problems they were having with return travelers, they put an agent on the Canadian side saying, here's the website, do this before you go over, because they were just getting so much flack. Nobody knew about it.
That's one of the problems. I mean, today, if I'm in the United States and want to come back, I mean, am I going to be confronted with what regulations am I going to be confronted with today? Who the hell knows?
Right. And, to go onto that website, you need to have your doctorate in whatever to understand where to go and look.
Wouldn't doubt it. Thank you for calling, Kelly. Thank you.
Okay.
I hope that you've alerted a good many people. Be bloody careful if you're going, even if you're just going to go across to Ogdensburg to buy a new pair of shoes, you better be careful, right? Thank you for the call. Thank you. John, I think we're right out of time here.
We are. I've got an interesting comment here, though, from Tara, who is in the Netherlands right now, and she travels to and from the Netherlands a lot. So this is an interesting perspective for her. She says, when we come home, we require a PCR test before we board to head home, tested within 72 hours of boarding. And we were going to have a rapid test when we land at Pearson, but now it's a PCR and go home until results are in. We have no issue with it, to be honest. She says, last year we were checked up by CBSA 4 times by phone and once in person to verify we were home back when the mandatory quarantine was all in effect.
I repeat, now this, I'm glad Kelly called because this is news to me.
Yeah.
That they've even, we had been led at no point of all of the information that I have seen. Always we were told, if you're only going to cross for 72 hours or less, there's no problem. Well, apparently there can be a problem. And for many people, there was a problem. Typical. Don't give us the information. Don't tell us when it's going to start. Don't tell us how to get this. Make it so difficult that who the hell would want to travel? Why? I mean, come on. We've done everything we're supposed to do. Give us a break, okay? You know what? Give us a break. Thank you. Have a good weekend. I promise that I won't be ranting so much on Monday, but I don't know about you. I'm just getting sick and tired of this. For 2 years we've put up with this. I think it's time they gave us a break. We'll be back.
The Lowell Green Show is seen and heard live around the world at 2 p.m. Eastern. Connect with us online at blasttheradio.com/Lowell Green. Can't join us live? Download the Lowell Green Podcast. Available on Apple, Spotify, Google, and more. Ask your smart speaker to play the Lowell Green Podcast. This is a production of BlastTheRadio.com.